everyone, it's Tani Games here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm here with a kind of tips video for anyone who wants to participate in this week's Dreamsnap challenge that perhaps doesn't have the Starpath finished. Perhaps you're a bit behind, perhaps you haven't had time to work on the Starpath, or perhaps you're just not interested in the items from this week's or this month's Starpath. Or this update Starpath, however you want to word that. But basically it's just some ideas for you of ways you can do it without that. Now some of the items I'm going to showcase are premium shop or from bundles, but there are some items that are going to be like craftable or from Scrooge's shop. So there should be a bit of something for everyone. I've set up a few ideas. Obviously if I was creating a Dreamsnap, I would probably use a mix of these ideas, but obviously it all depends on what you have available. Obviously it depends how long you've been playing for, what events you've participated in, and lots of different variables. So obviously you don't have to follow these things exactly as I've placed them, you know, chop and change for what suits you and what you have. But hopefully this gives ideas out to anyone who doesn't have the Starpath or the items from the Starpath, but still wants to participate with a good chance of success, or hopefully a good chance of success. So why don't we get into it? The first thing I've done, you can probably see a few of my setups behind me, but the first thing I've done is come to the crafting table, because there's a few things that I want to point out from the crafting table that might be useful to you. So the first thing is I'm in the wrong section. I need to be here. In potion and enchantment, if you scroll down, there's an item called a pixelized cooking flame and a superior pixelized cooking flame. Now you can only craft these items if you've done multiplayer and you have these pixel shards, but they're quite cool at creating like different effects and stuff like that, that you might want to use for the Dreamsnap challenge, basically for the foreground. I'm gonna drop these on the floor, so after you've crafted them, there we go, you can drop them, and you can see here they create this kind of like pixel effect, but it's kind of cool. It's a cool lighting effect. So in the Starpath, we do have some like pyrotechnics and some lighting. So obviously if you've not done the Starpath yet, or unlocked it, or you just haven't unlocked those items, there are ways you can get cool lighting effects, and these pixelized cooking flames are one of them. Because of how they are pixelized, they almost feel like a special lighting thing, a special pyrotechnic. So I would recommend, if you do have these could be used in the foreground of your image. So say this was your like setup, you could have like just a little bit of the pixel flame coming in the front, just to add a little bit of extra detail. And the next thing I want to talk about is furniture. So there is a lot of furniture that is craftable that you can also use in this challenge, not just in terms of like lighting, but there are DJ booth rigs, we have a lot of balloons, we have some more DJ booths. There is also some extra lighting if you have the expansion. The cobra statues could look quite cool and imposing as a backdrop, again if you have the expansion, or even the gold or green bumblestone fence. Again, they would add a bit of texture in terms of a backdrop if you wanted to use those, but you do need the expansion for that. But yeah, there's a few items that you could cook. You could probably cook the bonfire pits, put them near the front of the shot to add the flames. So if you didn't have the like pyrotechnic kit from the Starpath, if you put these just at the front, not so that you can see the whole bonfire pit, but maybe just so that when your photo is being taken, you just see the flames, it would replicate that pyrotechnic effect. So just a heads up, check your crafting table just to see what you've got, because you might find there's lots of cool things here that you can craft and use in your submission. Now, why don't we talk about my setups and my scenes? So first thing I'm going to talk about is this Cocoa stage. Now, this was a premium shop item, so you may have this, you may not, but this is the perfect stage backdrop. It's literally a stage backdrop. And you can interact with it, and there are some little flamey things that come off there. I don't actually know. I thought they went off repeatedly, but maybe they don't, or maybe it's bugged. I'm not entirely sure. I thought they went off for longer, but apparently not. I must be mistaken in that, so I do apologise. But you've still got the lighting effect. You've still got the sparkles. With this, I have also, oh look, yeah, it's periodic, it's periodically. I have put down the Cocoa guitar. Now, this was a Starpath item from the first Starpath, but it has also come back into the premium shop. So you might find this in your recommended items, or you might have picked it up when it did come into the premium shop. And obviously guitars are perfect for shows, for rock shows, musical performances, and things like that. We also have this amp and mic set. Now, I think this is a Scrooge store item, but we also have the regular amp on its own, which again, I think is Scrooge store. But either of these would work for that musical kind of setup. And then I've also placed a couple of balloons here because the balloons are craftable. I mean, these particular ones came from a set of Pride codes, which are still active. I do have a video on sort of codes and redemptions, so if you want to watch that to check, you can claim those Pride codes. The Pride codes are always going to be around, if I remember from what they said in their blog post. So you could craft up some of the Pride balloons, and again, they just add that party show vibe, which I think is kind of cool. So this is one little setup you could do. I've also put down this red rug, which is from the aerial bundle, but you could use any other sort of carpet just to signify the stage area. And I've put down this flooring as well as pathing. Now, obviously, you don't have to do an outdoor build, but it was kind of, if you wanted to do an outdoor build, to do like the villagers maybe watching you perform, or maybe you can trap some to make it look like they are the performers. But obviously there are ways to kind of replicate this kind of style indoors. I don't think the Cocoa stage goes indoors, but we're going to go through a few different options, and some of them are available indoors. So don't worry if this, doesn't particularly work indoors. There's lots of ways you can do it. But I set everything up outside because it was just easier. Oh, the fog's rolled in to make things a bit more ambient. I'm going to interact so I can hopefully turn that off. And I'll interact with this. Now, this again was another Starpath item. Very, very cool. I do like this. I don't know if it's come to the premium shop or not. I'm not entirely sure. But it definitely was a Starpath item. It has this cool skull effect. So obviously if you wanted to do something a bit more like proper rock and roll, that might be more of an aesthetic to go for. But this is obviously quite a cool item. It's an organ piece. It would certainly look eye-catching on a stage. And then if I just move this to the side for now, we do also have this Ursula stage and mic, which came from the Ursula bundle, which is in the premium shop. You do have to do her quest line that comes with that bundle to get these items. But again, it's another stage item. It would look perfect for that rock kind of setup. It's very unique in its design and things like that. So I think this is a very cool item. And obviously you've got the microphone there. I did place down this guitar. Now this guitar is a Rapunzel inspired guitar. It's from the Rapunzel collection. But this is available in the Scrooge shop. So anyone could potentially have this, depending on obviously how long you've been playing, how many screw shops you've been and stuff like that. But yeah, there is a regular base game guitar that you can use. We also have this scary amp, so if you don't have the regular one, maybe you have this one, which I think was part of the Monsters Inc. collection. But that's another item you could use to add to that musical vibe. I think setting up a stage and then putting your character, if you're indoors, you could use some mannequins. If you're outdoors, you could use some of the Valley Villagers to either look as performers or as maybe people dancing or watching the show. But that would all work, and there's a cool lighting effect with this item as well. You can see the glow coming off of the stage there. Now, another thing that you could do, so we have another setup here. This projector is from Timon's questline. So when you do Timon's questline, you will get a projector from him. But also, this projector is available in Scrooge's shop. So you may even have this without having unlocked Timon, because it came this update with the Scrooge shop. So double check, maybe you've got this item. I think that's a cool item as a backdrop for a stage. You know, we've got the speakers, we have got a bit of lighting. I've also put down the Tangle guitar. There's also this piano, which is available from Scrooge's shop, this upright piano, this brown one. So this is available in the Scrooge shop. So again, it might be an item that you already own. We then also have this Monsters Inc. one. Now, this was from a Starpath. It was from the lovely Monsters Starpath. But depending on how long you've been playing, maybe this is an item that you have. Whilst I would say grand pianos aren't very rock inspired, the colours of this and the vibrancy, I think, would make it a fun stage piece, which is why I've included it over the typical grand pianos that you see in the harps. I've not brought them out because I don't think they lean rock enough, but I think the playfulness of the colours of this would lend it well to a stage backdrop. You can see here also I've done different flooring. So this is the gem, this is just the golden opal. There is a gem and opal floor. This item here is actually a rug. So this is part of the like Wreck-It Ralph collection, I'm pretty sure. No, could it be Wally? It might be a Wally one. I'm not entirely sure because I know this rug is in Vanellope's house, which I think is what's throwing me. But yeah, you could do like a rug section like this if you wanted to. And I've also used these little blue lights again to create that barrier, so you can make it look like this is the stage and then all the audience would be in front. So yeah, a lot of cool different kind of like stage setups you can create. Now moving on, I've put out the Coco guitars here. Obviously, depending on what you have, if you have a guitar or not, you could use them. Depending on if you've got like the Ursula bundle, you might have the microphone, or you might have this little mic and amp setup. You know, you could do something like that. Just chop and change as you need to. But we have a couple of stage items here. So we have the DJ booth here, which you could use. You could have like a character behind or something like that. And then we have this stage with the curtain on it as well. Again, this would be a kind of cool item because you've got that curtain, you've got the lights at the top shining down, and just the sort of the metal framework is definitely giving concert and rock vibes. So I think both of those items could work. You can use them together, you can use them separately. These items on the side here, these are part of the Monsters Inc. collection. They're just like a generator, electrical panel kind of item. But again, it leans into that kind of like concert show vibe, like where they have all the electronics and things like that. So you can certainly use those to frame your stage. I've also got down here, these are the Starlight projectors. Now these are from the Beauty, I say Beauty and the Beast bundle, it's a Belle bundle. I think it's called like the Belle Starlight bundle or something like that. And the reason why I've included these is because, again, it's kind of good for those light effects. You could put it towards the front of your shot so that you've got a bit of sparkle. It looks like you've got some sort of pyrotechnics and lighting and different effects like that, because often on these rock shows and stuff like that, there's often a lot of like I cannot say that word anymore. Pyrotechnics and like different lighting effects and, you know, lasers and the like. So I definitely think using these to like frame a shot or even using it as like a backdrop would work. So we do have those as well as an idea. And then moving on to another setup that I've got here. Now with this, we've got a couple of different aspects. The first thing is these lampposts here that I've placed down. Now these create a really bright, blinding light. These lampposts come in a few different colours. I think there's a green, a blue, a red and a yellow. But if you look in your crafting bench, you'll see they're the singular ones. If I just grab one here so you can see it. So this is the style you want to use. I feel like these are the strongest for the lighting effects, but obviously have a play around with whatever lamps you've got crafted, but they create that blinding light effect, which you might want to use because, again, that rock show, those lights, it's an important part, I think, of a display is the lighting. So lighting, I think, is really going to be key into adding to the vibes. You don't have to do a blinding shot like this. Like I said, there's lots of different ways you can add the lighting. We've got the actual DJ booths that have lighting, the stages that have lighting, you know, things like the starlight projectors or even just these little Mickey lamps. All of these elements add a form of lighting, so you don't have to go blinding lights if you don't want to, but it's just another effect you could use. We do have this DJ booth, which again is craftable, along with these balloons. So like I said, I think the balloons really add to kind of like that show vibe, that party vibe, and the DJ booth. I know typically a lot of people wouldn't associate DJ booths with rock music and rock shows, but you know, sometimes you have to be a bit creative when doing these submissions, especially when it's a challenge that's based on the Starpath. They always do a challenge that ties into the Starpath. You know, last update we definitely had the 1920s kind of like Tiana themed challenges, so it's natural that we would get some kind of music challenges this update. But it all lends into that music theme, which I think is what you need to stick with, is that musical vibe. I also have these Vizier lamps, which you can maybe hear crackling. I don't know if my desktop audio is picking up very strong actually. But again, these just add a cool lighting effect, like with the electronic sort of lightning bolts or whatever you want to call them coming out. They just add to that rock vibe, I feel, which I think is pretty cool, to be honest. I really like that, and I think these would work again as a backdrop or a side framing piece to add to your stage. And you can see here I've gone for the green flooring just as like a different option in case you didn't like any of the others. And lastly, I do have out the fireworks. I think they can, again, just add some extra effects, because I think that's one of the big things about, you know, these shows, these concerts, these performances, no matter whether it's rock or not. Like if you go to a Taylor Swift concert, you know, the lighting effects and the projections and the movie screens that she has and everything like that, so creative and things like that. So I think using fireworks, if you have them, these are from like Mulan or Mushu's quest line, and these ones down here, these were from the premium shop, so you may or may not have these. So but they're just, it again, it just adds another effect. So all these ideas are all very, very similar. You know, they're all stage setups, but there's lots of creative ways you can do it, either with premium shop items, with bundles, with Scrooge store items, with craftables. There's a lot of different ways you can do the stage setup without using the Starpath. So that's basically what I wanted to cover in this video. Sort of hopefully it gives some ideas for people that might be a bit behind and feel like they haven't got the items to do this challenge. Trust me, you will have them. And for the most part, all of these setups have like the minimum requirements for the Dreamsnap challenge. And these aren't, like, I wouldn't just leave it at this. I would do a little bit more decor, like I said. I would combine some of the ideas, you know, add in lighting and things like that. But generally speaking, you know, these all hit the mark in terms of Dreamsnap tags. And like I said, they're just really rough setups. I know some of these are clipping into each other, like we can sort of see the stage on the right there. But like I said, as these aren't fully formed setup and ideas, I'm sure you would add more to your shots anyway. But it just shows there's a lot of ways you can do this challenge. I'm very excited to see what you all come up with and post in the Discord. I'm very excited to do the review for the rock challenge, which I'll do next week, because this week's review will be on, what's the challenge we're doing at the moment, voting on? Favourite bag. So that's the video I've got to record this week, is the favourite bag submissions. But I'm really excited to see the different ways you all construct rock shows. And obviously things like clothing, I think, is very important to add into that vibe. So I do have this jacket. This jacket was a premium shop outfit, but there's lots of other different outfits you can use. If you've done the quest line with, I think, do you have to do the Forgotten quest line to get this, or is this might just be from leveling up your character? I don't remember. But there's like this fawn-laden jacket that would go well with a rock vibe. Any denim jackets or bomber jackets, again, kind of lean into that rock vibe. There's this lava pleather jacket, but I think that might have been a Starpath item. Let's have a look. What else have we got? Yeah, like this Neapolitan jacket. You can certainly work in like pastel-y colours if needed. Yeah, the military jacket gives off a rock vibe, I would say. Even the faux fur monster jacket, I think, totally lends into the vibe well. The Guardian track jacket's probably a bit more sporty, but you could probably do something with it. The jeweled vizier top definitely has those cool vibes to it. Shank squad jacket, you know, you could use that. Yeah, lots of different things you could go with. You know, even this Minnie's dinner party jacket, because it has that texture, it does kind of almost feel a bit rock and roll-ish. So, you know, you can do a lot with your clothing. Obviously, at the moment, I have on these trousers, which are the black statement pants, but you could go with like the checkered statement pants if you have them. The white checkered chef pants, they definitely give me like alternative vibes. My younger sister has a pair of pants like this actually. So yeah, you could go with something cool like that. Yeah, or there's even just like cargo pants. They kind of have a bit of a cool vibe to them. Any kind of like jeans, ripped jeans work well, I think, as well. Like any sort of tattered jeans lean nicely into those rock vibes. You could do a skirt if you wanted to. I would probably stick with maybe like a jean skirt if I did. Or maybe even like the black pleated skirt. I think using the candy skirts, maybe you might lean a bit too poppy, maybe. But yeah, certainly something you could do there. Or, you know, you could even maybe go down like a shorts route and then use the sort of like the over the knee socks and stuff like that to add a bit of like contrast or vibes and stuff like that. So obviously think about your outfit as well and your makeup. I've actually put on some eyeshadow here. I don't know which ones were like premium shop, but like for instance there's this one with like the flame effect. Obviously there's this one as well. We've got this, you know, think about your eye makeup and stuff like that. There is face paints, but I didn't feel like any of these were kind of the right face paint for what I wanted. Maybe something like this could be cool. This could be kind of cool, this like jester inspired one. But yeah, think of that. Think of crazy colours in your hair, bright, vibrant colours and stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure you can put together an amazing dream snap without even using the items from the Starpath. But anyway, I have rambled for long enough. I hope these ideas have helped you, you know, hopefully you get a bit of inspiration here with what you can do, different ways you can combine items and stuff like that to create like a cool effect, to create these cool rockstar dream snaps that you're going to want to do for this week's challenge. But yeah, I hope that really helped. I try and do these when there's like specific challenges that feel like they might be difficult to complete without the Starpath. Like I've done a video similar to this before with the there was like a parks ride challenge and I did that as well. So feel free to stick around because I do try and put out helpful hint and tips videos. And of course I do post on the Disney Dreamlight Valley news and events. I do also share build ideas for decorating in your valley and things like that. So feel free to subscribe to the channel and, you know, stick around and things like that. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped. Have a wonderful day and I'll see you all in the next one.